Good morning to all the students of standard 10th. This year we will learn gravitation. This gravitation chapter is related to physics, and you heard the name of the gravity also. Now we will discuss the various topic of the gravitations related to this chapter, and you will find out how easily you can find out how the gravity of the different planet also. In this chapter they have given a formula related to that. The first we will see, can you recall this one question they given, what are the effect of a force acting in an object? What kind of the force? What are the effect will be there once the force will be applied to any kind of the object? You know very well the object can move, but depending on the object of the mass. But if the force, if you will apply on the wall, is it possible that can move? That also the thinking purpose. Now what type of the force are you familiar with? You know very well there are different type of forces are there. First we will read in this chapter only the gravitational force. Then you heard the name of the mechanical force, muscular force. The different kind of the forces are there. Now what do you know about the gravitational force? What do you know? You have heard the name of the gravity in the standard of 7th standard and 8th standard. The gravity you know very well of the earth is 9.8. And every planet has a different type of the gravity is there. Depending on this gravity, your weight and mass are different. Mass will be same, but the weight will be different. We will discuss the mass and weight in this chapter also. Now first you show the gravitations. You know the gravitation was discovered by the Sir Isaac Newton. The story you know very well, the gravitational force, how it discovered. An apple fall from a tree on the ground. So he wondered why it fall from the vertical to downward. Why it not fall on the horizontal purpose? He thought why it is falling from the downward to the upward to the downward. Why it not float on the upward condition only? So from that point, the horizontal, we can say from that point he thought about the gravity. And he discovered the gravity like this way. Now why do they not fly on in a horizontal direction? This also he thought. On falling from the apple has been fallen from the upward to downward, but we can say on flying down by falling time, why it not float on the horizontal directions? After so much thinking, he discovered about there is some kind of the force are there on the earth. Because of this, every object are attracting to the earth. And like this way he discovered the gravitations. You just see the figure 1.1 they given. They given a moon, then they given a gravitational force, falling apple, and the person that's sitting as in a figure type. They given as in a Newton type, and then the earth given. Now just see concept of gravitational force and the gravitation force between the earth and the moon. What kind of the concept are there related to the moon and related to the earth? Now gravitational force and gravity, these are the different thing. Remember, gravitational force we are telling as in a capital G, remember, and gravity we are writing as in a small g. The gravitational force is always, that is a universal force, it is always same on all the planet, but the gravity is different in all the different planets. Now the distance in the figure you see according to the scale. Newton thought if the force of the gravitation act on an apple, Newton thought if the gravitational force are acting on an apple on the different, we can say different height from the surface of the earth. He thought, like we can say, once the apple is falling from the tree to the downward side, so there are different objects also there on the earth, so it can be fall and directly it can come to the earth only, downward side of the earth. Then he discovered, can it act on a even further object like other planet and the sun? Then he thought like this way, if the different planet, on the different planet it also happen in the same manner, the object can on the downward side also, on the sun also, by falling from that planet from upward to downward, that it can come on the downward side only. Now force and motion, you know, once you will apply the force, the object move and that come in a motions. And force you know very well, there are different kind of the force that is related to each other. Now force is necessary to change the speed. Force required, we have to change the speed also, and we have to change the direction also. Without force, it is not possible to change the speed and direction. Now, what are the Newton law of motion? There are three laws, you know very well. Newton first law, Newton second law, Newton third law. The scientist Sir Isaac Newton they given was one of the most greatest scientists. Just see the figure. Introduction to a scientist they given. He was born in England. The law of motion, equation of motion, and the theory of gravity in the book of the Principia. The book of Principia, you will see in this book of the Principia there are different theories are there. Now the book was written Kepler also. The Kepler has given a three law, but he did not has a phenomena. He does not has a concept to discover. He only told that the three law are there. That three law, according to the three law, so there are some kind of the things are there. The earth is moving around the sun, and the moon is moving around the earth. Now that three law has been discovered by Kepler also, and the most whatever the important thing, the Newton has been also discovered this three law, and he worked on this three law of the Kepler. Now here look, Kepler law was not known. However, the reason why planet move in the way described by the Kepler does not know why the planet is moving around the moon, around the sun, and why the moon is moving around the different planet also. Now this theory, mathematician derived the Kepler law. The Newton theory was also discovered by the Kepler, but the Kepler does not has a reason. But the reason has been discovered by the Newton. Now just see, there are circular motion and centripetal motions. Circular motion you know very well. Every object that moves around the circle, that we are telling as a circular motion. But there are two types of the force are there. Centripetal force we will learn about centripetal force. The force that acts from the center, and from that center the full thing that will move around the circular. The full thing that move in a circular motions. The force that applied from the center of the planet or center of the object, and that object move around according to the circle, that we are telling as in a circular motions. Now you know very well you are doing in day-to-day life. Just see the figure A and figure B. The lady or the person we can say that holds some kind of the string and moving and rotating that string, the stones. What you will observe, the stone is moving along the string, that is in a circular part. This kind of the force we are telling is in a circular motion, means the motion that applied from anything and that moves according to the circle, that we are telling as in a circular motions. But there are some things are there that pulled, and that things are there that why it moves in a circle part. You have seen in the day-to-day life in a fair when you are going merry-go-round, you are looking. There are different things are there. Now there are two type of the peoples are there. Once the persons are applying from the corner part, from the center part, and the full things are rotating, the big fair, the big round you have seen. Now the second thing, the force that is applying from the corner, and that full round merry-go-round is moving. So now the force that applies from the center, that we are telling as a centrifugal force. You have seen a rotating disc. The rotating disc you know very well. You are putting a 5 rupee coin on the rotating disc. What you will observe, that 5 rupee coin will totally out from the table. The force act on any object moving along a circle and it directed toward the center of the circle. This is called as a centripetal force. They are telling whatever the force on any object, they are telling the moving along the circle. The force that moving along the circle, and it is directed, means from the center that force is coming. From the center the force is coming, and from the center only the things has been rotating. From the center the things is rotating like in a circular, that we are telling is in a centripetal force. In a fair you will look, the big rotating round are there. आसमानी झूला बोलते तुम लोग, that you know, and the merry-go-round, the other things. In the merry-go-round you look the small childs are playing, but that one you will observe the peoples are applying the force from the corner, not from the center. That we are telling as a centrifugal force, that you will learn in the next standard. But we are discussing about centripetal force. This centripetal force is related from the center, and from the center these things are rotating in a circular motions. Okay, we will discuss this topic on the next time, on the next lecture. Have a good day.